So today I want to talk about I live a very boring life. And I know that people judge me for the way I live, but I don't care because I actually really love my simplicity. I just love the way my life is right now, in ways. There's still stuff I want to accomplish, but overall, my life would be considered boring by a lot of people's standard. And I love it, right? So that's what I'm going to talk today. My name is Tony, single dad of two. I'm just documenting my life and thoughts. So when I say a boring life, I am a single dad, right? So pretty much all I do is I wake up, I get the kids ready for school, I take them to school, I go to work, I exercise, I pick them up, I cook them dinner, I play with the kids, and then I go to sleep. And that's pretty much every single day. And on the weekends, obviously, it's a bit more activity where I take them to the museum, or I take them to the playground, or I take them to the park. Both Saturday and Sunday, we basically pretty much do the same thing every single weekend. And it's boring in a sense where this might not give me any ladies, but me and my kids love it, right? Because it's just a relaxing routine, such a easy, simple, boring routine, and I just love it because it makes my life easier, and there's just less stress, and I already know what's going to happen in the day, and I just don't have to worry about anything else, right? Like it makes it less stressful on me as well. And on top of that, like the kids know the structure, the kids know the system, the kids know what we're going to do. So it's just not complicated or it's not confusing. And it just, because I think it makes my life easier and it's boring in a sense, I just love to keep it that way. Now, when I find a new partner, obviously that's going to change things up a bit. But even then, I will think that really probably just going to travel more once I find a new partner. But besides that, I don't see it drastically changing that much. But I don't know. But when I say boring, and I think people also think it's very boring, it's because, like I say, all I'm really focused on is myself and my kids. I'm not traveling the world. I'm not going on to expensive luxury trips or anything like that. I'm not taking my kids to crazy Disneyland and cruises because honestly, we have a lot of fun already here. Like we visit the museum multiple times, and we visited multiple times, and there's always different events at the museum, and so it's always different when we go there. And sometimes we miss like a section over here or a section over here, and it's always so fun. Like for example, I make it a habit or a routine to go to the Museum of Fine Arts 4 times throughout the year, and then the Museum of Science 4 times throughout the year. So every quarter we basically revisit different museums because there's always something new, there's always something different, there's always something fun to look at, right? Even I enjoy it, right? And even the children's museum is fun. Not necessary for me, but I love to see my kids have a lot of fun and explore their ideas because the children's museum has a lot of curiosity type of activities for them to explore and to do and to learn about. And it's always a lot of fun. The zoo, we go there all the time. I shouldn't say that all the time, but there's like 2 different zoos that's near me, and we go to both of them. And once again, it's doing the same thing over and over every single year, but because the kids are growing, because they are better at understanding things and their comprehension is better and the curiosity is much higher, they get a new type of experience from it, right? Even though we're going to these things like 4 times a year. And what's funny is like, with me, I'm learning the same thing over and over. It's more of just hang out with the kids and seeing them learn. I think I get a lot of fulfillment from that. I actually have a lot of fun with that, right? And then of course there's other events going on that's new, that's nearby, and I always take them out. So it's not like when I say boring, it's not like I don't go out. Of course I gotta take the kids out. We cannot just stay home all day. Like I don't have no technology at home. I have no TV. I have my monitor, and sometimes they watch movies on my monitor, but I actually donated all my TVs because I got tired of us sitting here watching TV all the time. And we usually do that after dinner. And just for us to not get addicted to technology so much, I donated TVs. I donated my video games, so I don't even play games anymore. And now we just after dinner we usually draw, we usually play tag or play hide and seek or read a book. I think reading a book is by far the best thing that have happened after I donated the TVs and the technology. Reading is the number one skill that my kids are learning, and now they talk a lot, now they read a lot, and that's by far one of the best things that happen. And once again, that's very boring in a sense because who reads anymore, right? Nobody reads anymore. Everybody's just watching TV and watching Disney Plus and watching Netflix and stuff like that. So I I prefer to just have them read books and not be so addicted to technology, right? And now my hobbies, you would say, is that I don't have any hobbies now, I guess you could say. But the way I change my time or my activity is that I actually focus more on learning. I've been reading a lot of books. I've been reading Alex Hormozy. He's like a big entrepreneur. I'm reading his books. I could start my business and get that up and going. So I get a lot of fulfillment from creating content now, from creating a business and learning that and networking with other people in the business world and making money, right? Because if I make more money and if I make a lot more money, I will have more freedom to do whatever I want, and I will have freedom from stuff that I don't want to do or has less worry about, like bills and rent and stuff like that. I don't want to worry about those things. But in order to do that, I would need to have a lot more money, and so I would need to do the boring work, which is doing outreach, which is very boring, doing data analytics, which is very boring, and then working on my business, doing it by myself, which can be very boring and lonely. And so, like, this is considered to me a very boring life in a way because I'm not out partying again. I'm not going out with my friends. I don't even hang out with my friends no more, right? I don't even go to the movies no more. I don't go eat at the restaurants no more. Like, I hardly do any of those things no more. And what's so cool is, like, I don't care. I don't regret it one bit. When I tell my friends, I just tell my friends or my family, sometimes I just, hey, I'm busy with the kids. I got other stuff planned. And I just leave it at that. I don't need to dive deep into the reasoning or just it's okay to be boring. And I would say being boring would help single dads like me, like, save even more money, right? Or prevent us from drinking or playing too much video games and stuff like that. Like, I basically use all my money to educate, to learn, to make my skills better, to buy kids more books. Like, my kids has a ton of books in their room, and I always buy them more creative type of stuff, like art, like yarn, like building stuff, craft stuff, right? So that's what they do now. And we pretty much do this every single day. Like, every day is the same routine. And it just makes my life so much easier. So I think what I'm trying to get across this video is that it's okay to be boring, and okay to be boring and save money, and not necessarily you're doing the same thing every single day, but there's always some type of variety that can be added to it to make it less boring or to make it different. Or it doesn't have to be different all the time anyways, right? And as I mentioned before, it's not like, sitting here watching Netflix or Disney, that's boring if we're going to do that every single day after dinner. To me, that's boring, right? And that was what's happening in the beginning of the separation. But I was just like, I donated my TV. And these TVs were top-notch, 65-inch, beautiful TV, right? And I gave them away to my family. And I don't know, there was just one day I just got so fed up with us wasting time watching TV. And I was like, hey, I just text my family, who wants the TV? And they came in and got it. And same thing with the games. The games, I was addicted to games. It was a lot of fun. But once again, it was taking time away from me to do other stuff. And I can't have that anymore. So yeah, I think living a boring life is okay if this is even considered boring compared to other people. And I have two little girls that I more focus on, and those are my way I spend my time. So yeah, that is my boring lifestyle, but I really like it. I love it. That will change when I have a successful business and have a new partner and when things are really kicking off. But right now, and that's another thing I need to mention, is that my life has drastically improved in terms of wealth, health, and relationship. Like, everything has improved. The more I made my life boring, meaning that the more I prevent myself or force myself to go out and have fun and to eliminate things in the house, like, just less is more. And so I just take out things that are distractions and technology. Like, the more I made my life boring, the more I felt like, the more I did succeed, because I saw my wealth grew and my relationship with my kid grew because I bonded with them even more because there's no technology to distract us. And my health got better too because I just exercise more often, right? When there's nothing else to do, I exercise more often. So there's so much benefit to that type of lifestyle. So I definitely recommend it. Try it out. See if there's something you can eliminate in the house, any technology. Stop partying out for maybe a whole month and see how that goes. Stop drinking for a whole month. See how that goes. But there's nothing wrong with living a boring lifestyle, and there's so many benefits to it as well. So I hope this was able to persuade you. My name is Tony. Hit like and subscribe if this was helpful, and check out my next video on the end screen if you want to learn more about my life. Thank you.